Okay, well, here we go. Live stream. We'll give a little bit of people time. We're gonna have to fucking fire our technical team. I mean, I don't even know what to say other than cheers. So there we go. Ton of momentum lost. And what can I say? This is why you test this stuff before you go live. Okay, so there we go. New live stream. New live stream. Here we go. Okay, we got people coming back. All right. Well, all right. Okay, I'm going to try not to get going too much. All right. Well, gentlemen, welcome back. Okay, here we are. 100,000 subscriber live stream, 600,000 subscriber live stream. And sometimes it seems like we just have to do it the old fashioned way. So thank you, everyone, for joining today. Hopefully, we've got everyone back. We're at 132. We were at almost 300 there, but they'll figure this out in a second. And there we go. So I couldn't be any more excited to be here celebrating. Of course, in great company. I've got some celebrations planned tonight with the close friends and my wife. She's really treating me to a nice steak dinner at Chamberlain's where I can smoke a cigar. So we really have two decisions to make today. One is what is it we're going to smoke now? And then what am I going to smoke later? So anyway, gentlemen, forgive me for the technical problems. I try my best. I try to hire people that know what they're doing. But I just don't know what to say. I'm really kind of pissed off about that, but we're going to let that slide for the moment. I'm drinking some nice Armagnac, and there we go. We'll get going. So thank you to all you that are joining us. I'm going to take this live chat out and increase the text size a little bit so that I can read everything a little bit better. So one of the ways that I like to start all these live streams, of course, is just seeing where everyone is joining from. Again, one of the things that I really love about this is that, we really have a global community of people from around the world. And there we go. Let's see. We've got someone from Vienna, Austria, Seattle, Indianapolis. Wow, there we go. We've got a ton of people on here. We've got Clive Johnson. We've got David, of course, I know from the channel and Instagram. We've got Nicholas from Bogota. Wow, we've got someone from Cyprus, Basil from Virginia, Greg from Scotland, a few of you guys from Scotland there. We'd had a great little series in Scotland. We've got, 217 of you right now. Okay, so what to smoke? I'm drinking a nice Armagnac from 1982. Just picked this up. It was the closest thing I could find to a 40-year-old Armagnac. It's got one extra year for good measure. And so this is what we're starting off on. I'm sure tonight we'll have a little bit of champagne, but I thought, here we are, black tie. I'm in the office about to smoke, and why not have a little bit of Armagnac? That's delicious. All I need now is a cigar so I can get going. So it's a tough choice. 40 years. What does one smoke? We've got Rick with the Rocky Patel vintage. I've got some Cohibas, some of the 55th anniversaries. I've got a 50th from 2001 or an LE. And then I guess a Bohique there. I've got some aged and rare from Gemma, Hunters and Francal. This was released originally in 2001 right there. So that's got a little bit of age. This is a pretty good contender right here. I've got two of these left, individually boxed. The nice thing about this is I'm not going to feel like I'm smoking the last one. And then I've got two other great cigars. These are some cigars that I have to say, I'm kind of leaning towards one of these. I've got the Edmundo Dante Conde 54. This was a gift from a friend of mine that's a subscriber of this channel. He may be watching, Mario Villarreal. This is a Conde 54. He gave this to me in Cuba whenever he saw me. What an incredible gift. That is, I guess, one of my favorite cigars. Take me back to really fond memories with my wife on New Year's in Mexico. And then that same trip to Cuba, I was able to come by Max Gutman, who we interviewed for the channel with Jim Freeman. I mean, pinnacle moment for me. We're actually going to Cuba to film with him, hopefully. This is a 109. This is the regional that got it all started for Max and really kicked things off. I mean, this one is a heavyweight. This was from Max. He handed it to me personally. We got it on camera. And I have to say, I mean, I have a little bit of a superstition against smoking cigars that were given as a gift outside the company of those who gifted it to me. So I think I might leave this 109 for maybe in Mexico with Max. I have no idea, but we'll see. Let's see. We've got 11 salons. We've got Yuma, Arizona. And then we have another cigar, which I have to say, this is almost what I'm leaning for tonight. This is one of those Bolivars from 1998 that we smoked with Eddie on one of the live streams that we filmed with them. And I have to say, this cigar has exceptional age to it, incredible provenance, and the memory of it being gifted from a good friend. So I don't know. What do you guys all think? What do you think about the Conde 54? Would this be a good smoke for today? I mean, it's not a Cohiba, but you can find those. The Lancero from 2001 saved the Bolivar for 1 million subs. That's tough. I mean, the Lancero is good. I've had plenty of these. The Conde 54, I have to say, this is a real treat. We're going to go with the Conde 54. So that's what we've got today. Okay, so spoke with the Sahakians, told me we could use the lounge for a celebratory boxing match and donate the proceeds. Yeah, there we go. Sounds interesting. As long as I'm not in the boxing match, I'm okay with that. So there we go. Nice cut. El Casco cigar cutter. The 54 on my 40th. Yeah, there we go. I like that. This is going to be nice. Wow. This smells fresh. Yeah, we've got great footage. We've got some really excited stuff coming out right now with the Goodwood Revival. We released the trailer. How many of you gentlemen watching right now have seen the Goodwood Revival trailer, the Goodwood series that we're just about to start? Yeah, I don't know why I'd be in a boxing match, but okay. I've got my new SD DuPont Gold Dust Lighter. This was actually something I purchased for myself to celebrate the Cuba trip. This is my first proper SD DuPont. We sell these on the website now, so if you're looking to upgrade your lighter, visit no further than KirbyAllison.com. Of course, it's the best way to support the content that we film here on this channel. So here we go, 40 years old, 600,000 subscribers. I'm savoring it with, let's see, 278 of all of you. So thank you for that. Thank you for, I guess, accompanying me on this journey as we've discovered the world of quality craftsmanship and tradition. Let's see. Clive went to go see Eddie Sahakian. I told him being pool suit for him. That's right. We've got that series with Eddie. We surprised him with his first bespoke suit, pure bespoke. I have to say, quite a surprise. And one of the interesting things about that series, of course, one of the greatest pleasures in life is sharing one's passions with close friends. Eddie, of course, has done this with me and really with all of you through the videos that we have filmed on this channel. And the opportunity to reciprocate and share my passion for quality craftsmanship and tradition and fine clothing with him, really was pretty exciting. Okay, this is properly lit. I think Edward would say that I'd done that properly. Conde 54. Cheers to my wife. Maybe she's watching. Love you. Thank you for all of your support over these years. And here's to 600,000 subscribers and 40 lovely years on this earth. That virgin puff, as Eddie has coined. I have to say that's really incredible. I'm going to savor this one more moment. I mean, one of the challenges of running the YouTube channel and the business and raising 3 kids as I feel like I very rarely get an opportunity to slow down and savor the moment. So I'm going to do this one more time right here with all of you. Mm. Wow. That's as amazing as I remember it. That's really exceptional. Wow, what a treat! What a treat to be smoking this cigar and then enjoying kind of all of your company. Yeah, the lighter is really nice. A $1,400 lighter, of course. One of the benefits, I guess, of the business is getting a slight little discount on this. We do offer 10% off for first-time customers, and so we kind of extend that to other people as well. You can always email customer service. But this is a beautiful lighter, and I have to say I've loved it so much. We'll get it in the light here. You can kind of see it. It's got that gold dust. What I like about it is it's gold. It has a beautiful brown, kind of black enamel. And to me, it just echoes kind of those colors that I've come to love in a cigar leaf. And so that's really what kind of attracted me to that. So let's see. So here we are celebrating 600,000 subscribers, 40 years. I have to say, this is going to be a banner year. 40 years, the 40th year is going to be the make it or break it for me. We've got a lot of exciting things going. We've got the Goodwood Revival series. We've got Cuba that we filmed. I have to say, it was an incredible trip. I'll talk more about that here soon. I've got the smoke filtration system in my office fully dialed in. And we just filmed a video yesterday about that. And I have to say, we finally got the air grills replaced with the proper grills, and it's working beautifully. We've got the walk-in humidor that is being built in the office. I mean, another, really bucket list dream for me. That should be done hopefully within the next 30 days before the end of the month. We just installed the glass storefront, like the glass windows and everything. And that's going to be done. And then we're building a house. And if all goes well, we've got this same CamFill Cam Cleaner 2000 fist system installed in that, and I'll be able to smoke at home. So you know what? I'm going to be done. I'm going to have to really work hard to figure out what's going to be the goals for the next few years. So let's see. Don't have any plans to come to Ohio, but let's see. We've got some people joining us. Look at this. This is a good subscriber's dog. Look at him. Look at him right there. Max on there, watching us. You can see the 600,000 subscriber live stream there. I appreciate everyone watching. Suit to Shoot 2.0. We're probably not going to redo it because we've done it already. The real question is what's next? And Cuba is what's next for me right now. I had such an incredible time on that trip. And I have to say, just experiencing Cuba, the people there, the culture has really whet my appetite to come back or go back. And so I think that there's a lot of work to be done in telling the incredible stories of the Cuban people that I have not done yet. And so we need to go back and do some more work there. We're also planning to go to Italy, hopefully in June. In Mexico, Shaved Fashion is on the short list. Of course, it's where my wife is from. Her family's still there. Go visit them, drop the kids off, and do some filming. And Max Gutman, who is the exclusive importer of Cuban cigars into Mexico, he's the one that developed this incredible Conde 54, invited us to go visit his humidor. And so I have to say, he's kind of a hero of mine. I was really pretty starstruck whenever I met him. I've been trying to meet Max, it seems like, for years. And so to meet him, he's as nice. He's nicer than you would expect. I expected him to be nice, of course, but he was exceptionally kind. And, he is a true connoisseur and just truly passionate about cigars. And that shows through not just in the cigars that he's created, but the way he's developed his collection. Mardella, we're trying to put together a whiskey distillery tour with Eddie Sahakian. If you remember, the last video we filmed or published with him was with some rare whiskeys. I can't remember the name. And so they've invited us to go back up to Scotland and maybe visit with them. So we'll see what we can do. We've got Hassam from Pakistan. Thank you. Ascot Henley, of course, Oil Greenway, of course, one of our other great viewers. Those are certainly bucket list items for us. The problem is the time. I'd love to spend a year abroad in London, take the kids, put them in school, find some nice boarding schools for Nathaniel and Paloma, and really spend a year really delving deep, if you will, into British culture. The challenge is how many weeks a year am I there? The story of my life at this point, that's a good question. Maybe we think of a video like that. We should write that down. We've Hassam wearing a sovereign grade tie and number 89 sent of the day. Wow, thank you. Wow, this is an incredible cigar. I have to say, this is a real treat. We're in for a nice long live stream right here. We'll have to kind of go through kind of all the topics here. We've got some nice Armagnac right here. We've got great company. Lucas, this dinner jacket's the dinner jacket I had made for the Manos Festival. David actually did it for me. He did a lovely job. This is a bespoke Charvet dinner shirt, sovereign grade bow tie. This is a new bow tie we're about to add soon. That's in a spun silk. Beautiful. I've got some sovereign grade golden acorn cufflinks and some black sovereign grade silk socks. Charles Gordon is enjoying a birthday today as well. Well, happy birthday, Charles. April 1st. There we go. Both of us. We've got someone from Portugal, cigar brand. Yeah, well, it's an interesting idea. This cigar is so incredible. Mario, if you're watching, thank you for this. It's really hard to even talk. I just want to sit and enjoy this. This is an incredible cigar. So let's see, 600,000 subscribers. Where should we start this topic? We've got almost 500 of you. Thank you to everyone who's enjoyed. I'm going to post just one more picture to Instagram for everyone that's watching, and then get the proper link now that we have a new link on here since we had to abandon our other live stream. Drives me absolutely nuts. I don't even know what to say. Okay, so we're going to share this, post it on Instagram. So if anyone's on Instagram right now and wants to watch, we've got this link. There we go. Watch now. Done. There we go. So, gentlemen, okay, where to start? So how can you portray quality craftsmanship and tradition and not accept a celebrity boxing match? We'll broadcast this live on your stream. I think it's a great idea. We should do that for sure. Who would I challenge? This is the question. I think I know who the right answer would be, but we're not going to talk about that here because I don't want to gossip. What about London culture do you love so much? I've never been, but I really want to go. Another great question. We'll talk a little bit about quality craftsmanship and tradition and why I find that interesting. I'd say the biggest influence kind of on this journey, if we were to really trace it back, would be my maternal grandmother. Mimi was her name. Incredibly elegant woman, fortunately passed away a little over a year ago. And she just had an incredible elegance and grace to her. And she really surrounded herself by nice things. They weren't precious to her. She had 12 grandchildren. If we broke a china plate or threw a shoe through a painting, I don't ever recall her, getting upset at us for that. She was never very precious about it. But, going over to her house, spending the night, I'd sleep on down pillows, nice fine cotton sheets. She had incredible furniture. And I think that somehow just resonated with me. I could really just feel the difference between quality and what was not quality. And I think that's kind of what, in some ways, kind of attuned, my aesthetic, if you will, to seeing that there was something different. And then in high school, I was on the internet and, stumbled upon Ask Andy About Clothes. And I remember reading an incredibly long post by Alex Kabaz, which used to own Custom Shirt One, probably did the most expensive custom shirts out of New York. And it was like this 10-page article about how he made bespoke shirts. And I was just really blown away that you could have that amount of quality craftsmanship and tradition go into the creation of a garment that you could just walk into Banana Republic and buy for $65. So, the idea, the nostalgia of having something made today for you, totally bespoke, the same way that it's been made for other people for over 100 years, I just find really fascinating. I mean, there's an intrinsic just dignity to that, integrity, if you will, and that's kind of what kind of kicked all this off. So there we go. More content with Max Fawkes. I mean, we were hoping he'd make it to Cuba because we had an incredible video planned with him that involved us, seeing if we could match Ernest Hemingway 1-for-1. Rob Austin, thank you I guess got live chat where you can do super chat. We've got JW on here. JW, I'm smoking the Conde 54 from Mexico. I have to say this is still a holy grail cigar for me. It's only the third one I smoked, and I think this was the cigar I smoked whenever we hit 100,000 subscribers. And this was actually picked this up while I was in Cuba. It was a gift from Mario, a subscriber to the channel. We've got, of course, Peter from the one and only Cuba. Thank you for joining. Peter's incredible. Anyone looking to go to Cuba, look no farther than Peter at the one and only Cuba. He's got a great Instagram page. He took care of all of my logistics. And as an American, it's really important that you have someone handling your logistics. But really, for anyone, you kind of want someone on the ground to kind of help make sure everything is working out for you in Cuba. You really need that. And Peter was, a real class act. And if you're passionate about cigars, Peter, of course, knows almost everyone in the cigar trade, so he can get you all those factory tours and everything else you want. This is incredible. So this is the Duke of Wellington behind me. So what else? 600,000 subscribers. Again, incredible journey. It all started, in this office. It was actually one office ago, but same setup, doing shoe shine tutorials. And we knew that we had to kind of do it ourselves. So I hired a guy out of college. And we kind of fumbled our way through the process of learning how to make videos. And then here we are kind of traveling the world, really doing incredible work, I'd like to think, exploring this world of quality craftsmanship and tradition. So Oil, I'll actually be in London for the coronation. My wife will be joining me. And so that's pretty exciting. Looking forward to that. Oh boy, this is just totally delightful. I'm having trouble not focusing on this cigar. Well, we might need another person to handle our live streams because that didn't go too well. I mean, it just is so frustrating. We get these incredible cameras, great audio, and then we can't get the software to work. We know that the software has been challenging. We haven't even looked into alternatives. So we're going to have a conversation about that here soon. It'll probably include or involve me yelling. So I went to college for finance and economics. What I do now really has nothing to do with any of that. This is amazing. So let's see. We've got the live stream coming through. We've got 539. Everyone that's just joined, thank you for joining. Thank you for helping me celebrate this incredible occasion of both 600,000 subscribers and 40 incredible years. If you've just joined, please let me know where you're joining from. It's always fun to see that. And there we go. Happy to have all of you. 600,000 subscribers. So let's see, just looking at these questions, we've got, of course, the trollers. We're based here in Dallas, and we've got which watch collection video. Let's see, it's going so fast. So where were we? So started with the shoe shine tutorials, then dipped into a little bit of doing work about, of course, people coming and bespoke tailors, interviewing them. Then we got into the London content, which has been a real source of just, just blessings for me. And then the Sahakians, of course, we can't have a celebration of 600,000 subscribers and not include Edward and Eddie Sahakian, my good friends. I just have to say I was in London 2 weeks ago and had the opportunity to have a breakfast with them on several occasions. Unfortunately, we didn't film because it was a quick trip, but there we go. So you can order cigars from a few websites that'll ship in. EGM Cigars is one of them. But I have to say, with everything that's changed lately, it's increasingly difficult to even find Cuban cigars. The online websites are the last ones to have stock. And if you are shipping them in, pay for the expedited shipping. Don't do USPS, because I just had a shipment confiscated by USPS, which is kind of unfortunate. Thank you. So this jacket is from Davidge Bespoke. And he did an incredible job, really kind of jamming this thing out for me. Jake, Eddie here from DC. Know any good DC luxury spots? I mean, unfortunately not, but there's plenty of people that travel there. A few places I think to smoke in DC. I'm not totally sure, but hey, thank you for joining us, and appreciate your company here. Enjoyed my first Davidoff last week. Davidoff limited edition Tampa. Nice introduction. When will I be back in London? I'll be back in May for the coronation. We've got some seasonal sovereign grade ties for the spring that are just waiting on me to add. So, I'm the bottleneck here. Well, Pete, unfortunately, Swiss Post, once it landed in New York, it got confiscated. So there we go. So what else? I mean, what is your favorite content? I mean, we've got this Goodwood series that's coming out. We've got Cuba. We're hopefully going to be going to Italy. If you have any suggestions for Italy, please let me know. We filmed again with Kent Hayes last time we were in London. Terry is working on an incredible linen suit for me. There we go. I specialize in live streaming with streamers on Twitch and YouTube. It can help with everything you need done on live streaming. Well, please hit me up on Instagram, because we apparently need some help there. Just DM me at Kirby Allison, because that was a disaster. Really disappointing. The Kent Hayes stuff is great. Davidoff stuff is great. We've got some incredible new series that are in the work. We have a Patreon page, right? Patreon/Kirby Allison. Another way to support this channel. I mean, of course, need I say it again, the best way to support this channel is by going to kirbyallison.com. But I recognize that for the people around the world, or for the people that, just don't have anything they really want to buy from us, but love our content, it is exceptionally expensive for us to produce the content that we film here. I mean, not just the cost of travel, but the cost of editing, the cost of all the equipment. And we travel now with like $75,000 worth of equipment. And one of the videos we need to do soon is an equipment video, because I think it would be interesting to show you everything that we use, even though none of it is working right now other than lights. But take a look at that Patreon. And we've got some incredible stuff in the works. So let me think about what we have that you haven't seen right here, just to whet your appetites a little bit. We never get enough of Nick and Max. I would love to do more of that. So we've got the Goodwood revival coming out. So again, Ricardo Rosa, thank you. From Germany. Wow. Well, Dankeschön, as we would say. I'd studied German in college, but I can't remember much of it these days. We need some sovereign grade audio, people. Can never make enough London videos. I kind of agree with you. I mean, people ask me, why is it that I film over and over and over again in London? I mean, one, I feel like it's my spiritual home. I mean, somehow the stork, overshot the runway. The one and only, you didn't need to do that, Peter. Too much. Of course, Peter, one and only Cuba. He took care of all of the logistics for the trip to Cuba. Take a look at him on Instagram. Peter, if you're watching, you should paste your Instagram link in there so that people can check out your profile. Surprisingly enough, it is easier for an American to go to Cuba than it is for an European to go to Cuba. And unfortunately, our country is much to thank for that, if you will. Our foreign policy on Cuba, I think, is really shameful. But we're not going to get into politics right now. It's tricky. This is, I have to say, I mean, whenever you smoke a great Cuban cigar, I have to say, I mean, it is a pinnacle experience. this is smoking so beautifully. It's like all I want to do is sit here, not speak, enjoy this with a little bit of the Armagnac. Um, but this is incredible. So we were talking about the series that we're filming right now. So we've got the Goodwood Revival. That was our second big multi-episode series. Of course, this is after the Suit to Shoot series. How many watched the Suit to Shoot, where we followed the construction of a bespoke 5-piece tweed suit from the fabric being woven all the way to us going to Scotland to shoot in this thing? That was an incredible series, an exceptional amount of work. I think it was 12 episodes. And I have to say, I was really proud of that. We're hoping to get it on Amazon soon. The Goodwood Revival was the next big one. And that idea, the genesis of it was right as we were driving to the airport with Simon Cundy. It was me, Jonathan. We were in the back of his car. And that's where that idea kind of came about. Simon, I love Simon at Henry Poole. He is an excellent source for kind of good ideas. And, what I like about him is he's, not afraid to really leverage his network and give us access. So, a great example of that is the fact that, he was able to get us into the Goodwood Revival. We actually were able to sit down with the Duke to speak with him, Lord March, and interview him, which was incredible. So that's going to be on there. And we had, again, just unfettered access to all of the Goodwood Revival to film, and that was pretty exciting. So that is going to hopefully start publishing, not today, but a week from today, next Saturday. It'll be 5 series, 5 episodes, so 5 consecutive Saturdays as we kind of work through that. Then we've got Cuba. Cuba is another exceptional one. I think there'll be 12 episodes of that. And we just got finished filming it, of course, on that trip to Cuba. I was there for 12 days, and I filmed 10 of the 12 days. It was an utterly exhausting trip. I mean, again, it was insanity how much we were working and filming. But I just couldn't stop myself. I mean, here I am in Cuba for the first time. It's literally a place that I've waited, maybe not all my life, but certainly all of my adult life to go visit. And we were, of course, invited by Gemma Freeman and Henderson Francao to join their delegation going to the Habanos Festival. And Gemma, of course, is incredibly graceful and just exceptionally elegant. We have some videos with her. They really rolled out the red carpet for us. I mean, we were just given incredible access and filmed some great stuff and are hoping to go back because, I mean, at the end of that trip, there was so much that we weren't able to do or weren't able to do properly that I really want to go back and do that. So that's going to be going, Nanix, Double O. Of course, we've got, wow, Shaved Fashion. Thank you. A bottle of tequila, Casa Dragones, and a couple of cigars as a gift. Thank you. Well, DM me on Instagram or email customer service, and we'd be happy to give you that address. It would be an honor. I've got, not tequila here, but I've got some other great spirits that have been very generous gifts, and I would love to feature that bottle, here on set. And a good cigar. I mean, again, I can't ever refuse a good cigar. And soon we're going to have an incredible walk-in humidor that I really look forward to sharing with all of you. Kashmir, wow, thank you for joining us. What time is it there in Kashmir? We'd like to do more videos in Paris. We did some. We just published Berluti. We had a walking tour with Julian DeLuca from Comps DeLuca. And we had a verbal commitment from Jean-Claude Colban of Charvet to allow us to film, but we weren't able to kind of work out schedules. So Paris is on the list, but next is going to be Italy. We're working with Tommaso Melani of Stefano Bimmer to kind of help us coordinate something. I've reached out to, of course, Luca Rubinacci of Rubinacci. We're hopefully going to go to Rome and film something with Eric Jensen of Sartoria Gallo in Rome. He was just here. We filmed something with him. We went to dinner last night. Well, Chris, we killed the last stream, and now we're just doing it on a laptop. So there it is, midnight. Wow. Well, thank you for joining so late. Smoking a cigar, there we go, Eric, please. I mean, come on. Let's have some decorum on here. We're amongst, proper company. Joshua, it's interesting with the Formula One. It's definitely a gentleman's sport. because it's kind of in some ways, almost a billionaire sport. What I liked about the Goodwood revival is that, that era of racing truly was an era of the gentleman's drivers, where it was before you had this truly professional class of drivers. And so these were gentlemen that, had jobs or, had, I don't know, trust funds or whatever, estates. And they just returned from World War II and really would take it to the nines. And, they did it, of course, and as the British would, with class, elegance, and decorum. Christ, Constantinia, so thank you. Is there a point where dressing classical becomes borderline costumey? If so, where do you draw the fine line, i.e., rise, turn up, and lapel width? So it's an interesting question. We were talking to Eric about this, and that there is a fine line between sprezzatura and costume. And I don't think that you could define it. It's a blurry line, but you certainly know whenever you get there. And I think if you go to vintage, right, if you really are, dressing like you're from the 1930s, it just becomes costumey, in my opinion. And now all of this is relative to where you are. I mean, I'm sure some of the people that are the parents of my son's classmates, think I might dress a little too costumey here in Dallas, but I've just gotten over it. Chad, thank you. Well, I mean, Chad, if you're on Savile Row for only a few hours, I would pop into Henry Pool. I would maybe stop in to Gaziano and Girling. I mean, most of these houses are relatively open to you popping in and just kind of poking around. I mean, you do need to be slightly considerate of their time, to the extent that they are working and aren't there to just, sit there and entertain you. But generally speaking, they're all very courteous. And, if you let someone know that you're coming kind of on my suggestion, you're welcome to use my name as an introduction. It should get you somewhere, I would hope, at least most places. And you should walk up and down Savile Row. You should go to, there's a place that does incredible shepherd's pies and other pies right at the end of Savile Row. Not at the top, but kind of at the bottom of the street. That is called, that's going to come to me in a moment. This is exceptional. The Windmill. There you go. So go to the Windmill for lunch. Maybe stop by Davidoff of London, get a cigar. Rules on the glorious 12th. That's amazing. That's a bucket list trip for me. Again, you've got to have the coincidence of being in London on the 12th of, is it October, right? For that. Ken Haste is great. Well, Ram, anyone that wants to fly me and my entire family out to India, we'll go visit. Let's see. So we've got Mansoor lunchtime. Congrats on the milestone on black tie. Most grooms I see wear it before the evening and even in the morning as an all-day ensemble. Do you know how it became so popular? Well, in America, I mean, if you want to dress up more formally than just wearing a suit, really all we have is black tie. I mean, in England, you would wear a morning suit, right? So this would be kind of a long coat with pinstripe trousers. Thank you again. This is someone from Poland I see. But you just don't have that tradition here. I mean, really menswear. I mean, I think John F. Kennedy was the last one to wear a morning suit, and that was at his inauguration. He had his top hat and a morning suit. He was the last president to do it. And I think, post-World War II, kind of around that time, you really saw a complete collapse of kind of formal wear. I mean, white tie all but disappeared. Morning wear all but disappeared. And so that left you with just the suit, and the dinner suit is the tuxedo, as we would call it here in America. And that's fine. I mean, the reality is America is a much less formal culture than Britain or Europe. And so there's just fewer occasions or opportunities. I mean, with maybe the exception of DC and New York, maybe Chicago or San Francisco, you just don't see any of those opportunities. Bespoke glasses, we'd love to do that. We'd like to do a haircut at Truefit and Hill, but we're trying to schedule with them. What an amazing cigar. This is a real treat. Okay, let's see. Got to block someone. There we go. That's what happens whenever you come with your profanities to the channel. Thank you, Lonnie. for the birthday wishes. It means a lot. We've got 630 of you guys joining. We're pushing 40 minutes. We are going to be visiting Deacon and Francis, and we're actually going to film a series with them, and maybe one, between 2 or 3 parts, walking through the process of commissioning a custom pair of cufflinks with them. So we have that planned for May whenever I'm back, in addition to a lot of other exciting things. And honestly, we need to do something else with Max. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I mean, that suit that I found in the vintage shopping series with Max really was exceptional. Let's see. Almost as welcome to the 40s, almost as great as my 30s. I'm expecting my 40s to be even better than my 30s. Every decade, if you're doing it properly, should get better. As we age, we should only become more wise, refined, and hopefully have more fun. Happy birthday from the Astros game. I'm sure I have family in Houston that are watching the Astros game and not this live stream. Good for them. So, Alan, I'll be in London May 5th or 6th through the 15th, I think, for the coronation and the World Championship of Shoe Shining. Istanbul. There we go. Someone else. How is this happening? Who is this person, and why are you doing this? So we're going to just maybe put you in timeout. There we go. The hair is definitely starting to thin at 40, unfortunately. It started long before 40. So what else, gentlemen? What can we talk about? Smoking this Conde 54. I've got this beautiful SD DuPont lighter. This is a beauty. We've added several items from SD DuPont onto the website. It's kind of hopefully the beginning of continuous evolution of our cigar accoutrement that we sell. Of course, we have the El Casco cigar cutter, one of my favorite. And there we go. Make someone a moderator and give them a wrench. That's a good idea. Dorian, are you volunteering? How about that? Dorian is our new moderator here to keep the trolls out and enforce some decorum there. So don't try not to screw anything up for me. So what makes SD DuPont worth the coin in your opinion? Can one taste the difference? Well, you certainly can't taste the difference, but there's just something to the aesthetic of a proper lighter in your hand. I mean, this just has a nice kind of weight to it. Of course, it has that cling to it, and it's a really beautiful lighter. I've got a vintage one that's also nice. You don't have to buy a new one. You can buy a nice vintage one. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and there we have it. So good pair of jeans. It's funny, we've got a series that we need to film on jeans whenever Davidge gets back here. We've done some work with Davidge Bespoke on jeans. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, All Things Good. And so I believe in a concept called dress denim, right? Now, this is something that you can really only have made. Davidge does a great job making custom denim. It's not ridiculously expensive. And once you get into the world of custom denim, I have to say, it's a real Pandora's box because you have access to all these incredible denims, just like in bespoke tailoring with all the incredible cloth that you never find ready to wear. Hagovich, thank you. Can't say how much I've learned from your videos. Just ordered my first pair of Carminas to do the factory tour. That was another pinnacle video, I have to say, as I look back on the last year, I'm really proud of. We put a lot of work into that introduction, and I would like to think that that was a video that really showcased Carmina and all their exceptional work. Unbutton this a little bit. Let's see. So Desert Octane. Wow. Thank you, guys. 40 is a good age. That's when life starts coming together. It's an interesting point that you make there, Rick. And in some ways, I kind of agree. I mean, this, I think, is an incredible year. I feel like I finally have good momentum, here at work. I mean, I have to say, earning a living selling hangers and shoe polish has not been easy. And, the YouTube channel has just taken an absolutely exceptional amount of work to build. And here we are, celebrating 40 years and 600,000 subscribers. And we have some really incredible opportunities ahead of us. And I have to say, I'm more excited about the future than I think I have been at any part in my life. And what's exciting about this is, really the opportunity to share all of this with you guys. I mean, it may sound disingenuous to say that, but it really is true. I mean, as you've all seen from the channel, I am truly passionate about quality craftsmanship and tradition. And what is that about? It's really at the end of the day about people. I love people. I love meeting people. I love learning about people. And I especially love learning from inspired people. And inherently, the people with whom we film on this channel, those passionate and practicing quality craftsmanship and tradition at the highest level, are people that have dedicated their entire life to one thing. And I really see so much honor in that I think that being able to film with them and then showcase that to a wider audience, I think is a huge privilege and honor. I mean, I by no means consider myself an expert. Every single time I film with someone, I'm learning, and that is, I think, one of the greatest pleasures. Al Gonzalez, thank you, Al. If I'm correct, aren't you from Texas? He'll be in London for the coronation. Welcome to try to meet up. Direct message me there. I'll be arriving Thursday morning, and I stay at the Carlton Club, which is right there on St. James's Street. So I'll be there. Ooh, this is amazing. I have to say, this is an incredible cigar. The smoke filtration system is working exactly as I intended. To be able to smoke in my office, soon my home, is, again, just an incredible milestone for me. Jay Paul, thank you. We haven't considered a series around a golf just yet. You'd have to let me know what you think about that. I mean, there's so many people that do content around golf. I just don't know what we would do that would be different, but maybe you've got some ideas or some insights. Desert, I'm smoking the Edmundo Dante Conde 54. This is a regional from Mexico. I think it was 2011. Mm. I think I got some smoke rings there. Let me know if you saw that. Let's see. So Japan, I mean, of course, these are all places we want to visit. And I have to say, I mean, supporting our Patreon is the best way to support our ability to travel. But the reality is the people with whom we film, the majority of them don't pay us anything. I mean, we tried, honestly, to charge a little bit these days just to help us cover the cost of travel and the cost of production. And that, again, even if we're charging someone a few $1,000s, we're losing money given what it costs us to film. I mean, to hire a crew in London's £1,000 a day. And then for us to edit, I mean, I think we're paying, close to $2,000 a video to have these things edited. They're so long. So again, our ability to travel to a place like Italy is really dependent upon, people kind of helping support that endeavor, to be completely frank. And so, you guys are doing that all right now. Thank you. But that's just the reality of it. So, I mean, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do Italy this summer. If so, Stefano Bimmer is really going to help make that come together. Japan would be great. I'd love to do Japan. And what else? I mean, I think Italy 2023, right? Maybe we do Japan 2024. Devin, thank you. Great suggestions. We're going to try to archive all these chats so that we can, comb them for these ideas. So thank you that. Hector, I mean, there's a difference of opinions on whether or not you take the bands off of a cigar. I see it as, whenever I smoke a Mullard, thank you, doing filming with Dunhill made in England briar pipes. I mean, put us in touch with them. I mean, we didn't even really know that existed. We've got Andor. Thank you. Happy birthday. Congratulations on your achievements. Thank you. Many thanks for all your amazing videos. Would love to see equipment videos as well. And we need to do an equipment video. I mean, I think from an equipment perspective, we've finally kind of gotten to where I want to be. I mean, we have added a lot of gear within the last 18 months. And I wish it worked properly for our live streams, but that's more of a software and kind of training issue than anything else. Yeah. It is a good point. Like if we did Japan, it would have to be with the translator. That was one of the challenges of Cuba. I mean, we had a translator in Cuba, and I expect a lot of, moaning from the production editing crew, editing those videos with the translation. The crazy thing about translation is it basically doubles the time it takes to film something because you've got to allow for the translation to occur. So that's kind of interesting. I wish this was the case, Uncle Al. So just to show you guys what I'm drinking, and this is 1982 Armagnac. I couldn't find an 83, so I figured, why not go for an 82? A year for good measure. Brando, thank you. Regarding the smoke filtration going into your home, other than the filtration unit itself, are there any other considerations you've had to make? So this is another great idea, or another great question. There is considerable work that I'm putting into that. There's something I could show you, but I don't want to get up. Well, Desert Octane, I'd say open it up and pour glass. Join us. So someone talking about denim. We're going to film an entire series about denim. I have no kind of moral objections to denim, if you will. I mean, the reality is a lot of us wear denim. I was wearing denim this morning. My daughter Paloma had a cheer competition, and she did amazing. I wore denim, right? Because what else do you wear whenever you're going to a proper cheer competition? Let's see if I can find a little video of this. So here we go. This is Paloma coming out right there. She's in the back. I'll zoom in a second. Let's see. Where is she? Da-da-da-da. There she is right there. Look at her. Beautiful. All the way in the back. Very tall. And so something like this, I mean, again, I'm going to wear denim too. And so I have a very particular opinion about how denim should be made. We'll talk about that on a video. And we actually have a video with the vid of me ordering some denim where we talk through a lot of this. So look that video up. I mean, again, it's one of the challenges on our channels. We've got such a catalog of videos now. It's probably easy for all of you who are subscribers to the channel to really only watch the new videos. But I would be interested how often you guys dip back into our archive to see about some of the videos maybe you've missed. He spoke style. Yeah, that would be interesting. The Wellington Company Limited. If you had to pick one of your favorite shirt makers other than Bud, who would it be? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's talk about shirts for a little bit. What do you guys think about that? So shirts. Of the people on the channel right now, we've got some 600 of you guys. I would be interested in, let's see, there we go. We're going to moderate this. There we go. Timeout for you. We don't need to talk about my wife. She actually is in the CBD business, and everyone's welcome to go to thetrustedlab.com and see her business. She does a great job. It's not marijuana oil, it's CBD, which comes from hemp, and it's very therapeutic. I use it for sleep, and there you go. So a little bit of a plug for my wife. What bespoke shirt makers do you guys use, if anyone? Put the slow mode on chat. I don't know how to do that. Any opinions on shirts? So Turnbull and Astor, we haven't filmed with them. We've reached out a few times. We'd love to do something. They're probably the most well-known. I mean, Turnbull and Astor in some ways is the Anderson and Shepard and the John Lobb of shirt making. They have an incredible name, history, and heritage. I just don't know if they're doing today exactly what they were doing historically, if they're practicing it at the same level. But I don't know. I don't want to not be fair here. But I'd have to say, I mean, Charvet and Paris Bespoke, you can only buy Charvet Bespoke shirts from Paris. And that's something of a sartorial pilgrimage, in my opinion. Anyone that is into quality craftsmanship and tradition, if you're in Paris, you've got to stop by Charvet. Be asked to be led up onto the first floor, which for us Americans would be the second floor. And take a look at that incredible salon. It's really incredible. I mean, some of my favorite and fondest memories are really from Charvet. It may sound funny. I'll show you all some photographs. This is a photograph of my son whenever we went to Paris being measured for a shirt at Charvet. And again, this was more about indulging me than it was indulging him. And what I love now is that one day, he's got his bespoke little file at Charvet. And I just love the idea that, and again, it's a paternal nostalgia, if you will, that one day he'll be in Paris, with some friends. Maybe he'll be traveling there during college. He'll maybe walk down the Place Vendôme, the Rue La Prix, see Charvet, remember that it was a place that I took him to, and say, let's go in, take a look. And they're going to pull his file out, right? And in that file, they'll see all his orders, everything that was made for him. They actually printed this photograph out and included it in his file. And there's just a nostalgia about that. I mean, I just don't know how, any way to say it. So Charvet is incredible. I think from a technical perspective and a total execution, Will Whiting is, I think, probably the best shirt maker in the world right now. I mean, there's other great shirt makers. You certainly pay a premium for Will. I mean, his shirts are pushing $800 a piece. But if you're looking for technical execution in both pattern making and construction, I don't know anyone really doing better work than Will Whiting. He travels, unlike Charvet, and does an exceptional work. He's working on some shirts for me right now that I hope to be getting soon. Bud, of course, is great. I mean, again, what I love about Bud is the provenance, right? They do all their pattern making and cutting of the cloth for their bespoke shirts right there in the Piccadilly Arcade. And you just don't see that anymore. Maurice Sedwell is someone that a lot of people have mentioned us. We just need a good introduction, and we'll, of course, go visit him. It's just a matter of time. I mean, whenever we're in London, it's literally me running around crazy from 8 a.m. until 5 or 6 filming. Rolando, what can I say? It's a function of my public education. Alfred Dunhill would be interesting. Best fragrance to cover up your blue waffle breath? Well, Floris, of course. The Worldly Wanderer, thank you for joining as a member of our channel. We have channel memberships on YouTube as well. I can't do any accents. I have trouble even speaking English. This is such an exceptional cigar. If anyone wants to know how much longer this live stream is going to last, I can tell you right here. This is how long this live stream's going to last. Absolutely incredible cigar. This was given to me as a gift of a viewer of the channel, Mario Villarreal from Mexico. I saw him at the Habanos Festival, and he very generously gifted me this, knowing that these are kind of holy grail cigars for me. On long flights, to be completely honest, I dress in a suit and tie. Maybe I'll put on a pair of pajamas, but that, again, just kind of all depends. Try to do some smoke rings. Chittleboro and Morgan. Joe Morgan's exceptional. We'd love to commission something from him. Just a matter of time. He's one of those people on Savile Row that every single time I'm walking up and down Savile Row, I feel exceptionally rude and really remiss that I don't have more time to spend with him. We're actually hopefully going to be spending our videographer to London without me to do some work with Chittleboro and Morgan. That should be interesting. Did I get that dressing gown? Here's the answer. Dressing gown is right there. That dressing gown was an incredible find, and is one of those examples of how you can't pass up the right opportunity to acquire something. Sometimes, again, if you're really seeking value, sometimes you just have to be ready to buy something maybe you weren't looking for. The gown, I think, it really was not that much. I think it was $1,200, which for a 19 who knows what Solka dressing gown really was an incredible find. I mean, even to find the thing was exceptional. And so again, I couldn't pass it by. Someone was trying to buy it out from under me while we were filming, if you can believe that. I had to set it aside and be like, no, this is definitely mine. Chill Warren Morgan. I mean, we need to do something with Joe Morgan. I mean, he's incredible. Look at that. I got these off. It'd be nice to save. Cuban Cigar Factory tour. We filmed it already. I mean, we had an incredible film, a tour of Cohiba. I mean, an absolutely exceptional tour. I'll show you some photographs. So this is me at the Cohiba factory right there. The color looks a little red, but that's just because of the camera. And then you can see incredibly kind torsadors, doing the rolling right there. That was incredible. This is the photograph with Gemma and Max Gutman. I like that because I like to think she's looking affectionately at me. This is a more normal photograph. That other one's just for your eyes here on this live stream. This is the last breakfast. This is the morning I was leaving Cuba. Breakfast with Edward Sahakian. Isn't that amazing? I mean, what a gentleman. And then look at this. I have to see if I can find this. Okay, and I think I posted this on Instagram, but I'll show it again to all of you here. In Cuba, in the back of a convertible taxi, headed to dinner. You can see Eddie right there with his, beautiful silver hair. Look at that. We went to just an absolutely exceptional dinner that evening with some absolutely heavyweight collectors, a gentleman from Chicago. You guys want to see a sneak peek? So I'll show you a sneak peek on Cuba, right? So this is preview just for your eyes of the introduction that we filmed. And this is, I have to say, I'm really proud of it. So there's no audio here. I'm going to start this over, but this just goes to show you how beautiful Cuba was, just aesthetically. Isn't that nice? Maurice said, well, we need to do something, Maurice. Put me in touch with him on Instagram. Make an introduction. This is us at the Hotel Nacional where we were kicked out of trying to film. A beer, a cigar right there. I'm hoping to finish Eddie's suit maybe this May. Might be possible, might not be possible, but we're going to try for that. I'm going to top my glass off. Cure previous collar gapping. How do you cure previous collar gapping remedy? So this is, gapping on a suit that you've had made. I don't know. I wonder if there's something an alterations tailor could take care of. I mean, you'd have to find a really good one. Gentlemen, cheers to everyone watching. Is anyone smoking or drinking anything? If so, I'd love to see in the comments. Reese, we do want to go to Cuba again. That's our audio guy. You guys can take it out on him that we don't have the other cameras working. Bespoke florist offering, we've worked it. So we actually did a video with florists on the channel of me going through the entire process of having a bespoke fragrance created, which if anyone is in London is something you should do. You have to schedule it ahead of time. and they do book up. So actually, I need to book for my wife to do it whenever we're there in May. And the Wellington or Waterloo or whatever we're going to call it fragrance that we settled on, we're actually working with Edward Bodenham to have bottled up for us. So hopefully that'll be coming here soon. Oil paintings, I've got a nice oil that my wife bought for me. This is a reproduction. Um, there's just so much to spend money on what can you say? There's an incredible vintage book dealer um, right next to Kent Haste that I'd love to go speak to. So, wow. Cohiba 55th anniversary drinking Havana Club 1519 Peter of the one and only Cuba. I would expect nothing less for you. Peter's got some cigars for me that maybe for my birthday you can bring back here to the United States that I'm really excited about. Some Bolivar Corona Gigantes, really a favorite cigar of mine. I mean, if I didn't have this other cigar to smoke tonight, that would be what I was smoking. Best color for the odd tuxedo smoking jacket. I like green. Bottle green's a good color. Lemon chairs. What's your favorite non-Cuban cigar? Okay, so this is a tough question. I mean, of course, the easy questions, anything from Davidoff, right? Because they just do good quality. But I'll save you the canned response because that's obvious. There's some good Flor de las Antillas, right, that are nice. Someone asked about box pressed earlier. I mean, of course, the Padrones are all boxed press. Those are good cigars. I find that the box presses have a really open draw, which I don't totally love. Ararat Brandy, 20 years with Davidoff number 2. I'd love to get some of that here in the United States, the Ararat. I think it was the Deputy Prime Minister of Armenia watched that video where we drank that with Edward and sent them some Ararat as a gift. And Clive is saying that Eddie told him that you were really hands-on and worked like mad. That's really true. I mean, sometimes I really question my insanity and just how much we work. I mean, we go to London and it's just utterly crazy. I mean, Cuba almost killed myself. It felt like, I mean, I was probably running on adrenaline the entire time. And whenever I came back, it literally, for the first time ever, took me a full week to recover. I mean, I think I was falling asleep at 8 o'clock with the kids almost every single night. We filmed so much. And I look at that footage, and in some ways, I'm exceptionally proud. In other ways, I wish we would have done it differently. And so I want to go back to Cuba. We're going to do that. I'm trying to negotiate my way back into that country to do some more work with them because the people of that country, irrespective of what you think of the politics, right? So politics aside, right? The people of Cuba are incredible and they deserve to be honored. And one of the greatest ways to honor the Cuban people, in fact, is through a Cuban cigar. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Habanos is owned 50% by the government. You're supporting the government whenever you smoke a Cuban cigar. Yes, that is completely true. But you're also supporting the Cuban people with a Cuban cigar. So. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yep. So there we go. Let's see. What else? What else to talk about? Yeah, I mean, Cuba's a complicated topic. I don't really know what to say. Al Gonzalez, so many fake Cubans around that I only trust buying from Eddie Sahakins. Great point. I managed to get them through U.S. Customs. If you carry the Cuban cigars over, you can get them in your luggage. It's really not that difficult. The best thing, though, is to actually just smoke them abroad. Yes, no politics. That's right. Let's not do politics. I'd really like to wear a necklace with a pendulum on it. A present from your dad. Well, wear it under your shirt. I've probably had one Cohiba Bahique. I'm just not a big Cohiba smoker in general, only because I find them exceptionally expensive, even more so now. And so, you could spend $500-600 on a single Cohiba cigar. And so, in my opinion, I'd much prefer to just buy a box, right? I mean, I enjoy smoking my cigars, I enjoy collecting and aging my cigars. And so, I'd always prefer more. I'm not wearing the show part only because I'm dressed in black tie. Otherwise, I would be. I've got too much airflow in here. I mean, really, this cigar filtration system in here is something to behold. 2,000 cubic feet a minute, totally turns over and filters the entire volume of air in this room every 3 to 5 minutes. It's really incredible. I'm very proud of it. And one of my greatest joys is to be able to come into this office, during the day and smoke a daytime cigar while doing a little bit of work. It's really kind of incredible. Do you do tux? Did I do a tux for my wedding? Interestingly enough, my wedding tuxedo was the first bespoke garment I ever had made. Chris Despis made it for me as a gift. And I'm wearing my tuxedo trousers today. And I still am able to fit into the tuxedo jacket. I've got the trousers let out, but there you go. Everyday cigar would probably be Partagas Aristocrat. You can get them for less than $10 a stick. It's kind of my guilt-free cigar. I've got several hundred of them in my humidor, giving them a little bit of age. There's something that I think will only get better with age. Partagas Aristocrat is a great cigar. The Ramon Allones, specially selected, that come in caps of 50, another great cigar. I think I'm up to 150, maybe 200 of those right now. That's great. I don't have any cigar recommendations in Paris, Mr. Sullivan, but you can find cigars in Paris, Cuban cigars, at most of the tobacco shops, and I found some really good cigars in some of those. Bespoke John Lobb St. James shoes. Well, we've got the first 2 videos of that series edited. What a capstone. Again, it's just everything's coming together at 40, I suppose. I'm having a bespoke pair of John Lobb shoes made. Something I never thought would happen. We're filming the entire thing. All of you guys will be able to join us in that journey. John Lobb, I have to say, Jonathan Lobb, William Lobb, Nicholas Lobb, the 3 Lobb brothers that are, I think, 5th generation running the company right now. We've developed a good relationship with them, I must say. I would consider them friends. And they have really opened up and have allowed us to film. They trust us to take care of them. And I think we're going to do some exceptional work with them. Of course, they'll be black. I'm going to do a simple cap-toe Oxford with a little bit of punching. So there you go. Stephen Hitchcock, Anderson Shepard. We tried to do something with Stephen. He wasn't all that keen. Anderson and Shepard, again, not quite ready. So there we go. No particular reasons for that. Perhaps a video idea is go to the Ritz or Claridge's, take a tour. That's something we want to work on for May. North Hand and Shoe Tax. So we spoke to Crockett and Jones. Crockett and Jones' response was that they didn't need any publicity. So there we go. Color for your first bespoke suit. We've covered this topic. I think a nice charcoal gray or a nice navy is kind of where I would go. I lean a little bit more towards gray than I do navy, but there you go. Sorry cigar. I don't really know what that is. Chittaran Tea Room. Where is that? Which hotel? So what's the role of a classic man in society today? I don't know. What do you guys think? MMA, I don't watch MMA. I find it, a little bit too brutal for me. I just don't understand, nor do I enjoy watching people just totally getting the living daylights knocked out of them. I have to say, I really don't understand. I've never understood boxing. Ralph and Huntsman, the challenge with Ralph and Huntsman is they're just simply too busy. They are so busy that the last thing that they have time for is allowing us in to film a video. So I think that unfortunately the door's probably closed there for a little while. Number 6, Cavendish. Yep. Sodders. Lanesboro. I'm going to copy that. Only because we had a we've got this guy back. Who are you? And so, yeah, I actually met AJ for the first time in Cuba. AJ Patel is the gentleman behind number 6 Cavendish. He has an absolutely incredible lounge. I'll show you some pictures. He probably has one of the most incredible collection of vintage cigars I've ever seen. I mean, maybe second only to the Sahakians. I mean, the big difference is that you can see his collection whenever you're there in his shop. This is his bar. I mean, look at that. Absolutely incredible. You don't have to be a member to go to his lounge. These are some, old Cuban Cohibas. Look at that smile. I mean, this man is a true connoisseur of cigars. These are some of the original Bolivar gold medals, I think from like the 1980s. Some incredible drinks. They have an exceptional Manhattan there that I recommend. This is us and Oli, who's going to be making the shoes for me, and Lob. This is AJ opening up the, I think, what was this, the 225th or the 330th anniversary humidors of Hunters and Francal. He's got it right there for you to see. I mean, it's really exceptional lounge. And this is a picture of us with AJ and his daughter, who helps kind of run the shop. So here we go. So kind of getting to the end of this thing, I'm going to do a little bit of touch up on the lighting. You can see it's starting to burn a little bit uneven. Tips for being a great father, I'd say, the most important tip is just being involved. I think that's the most important thing you can do as a father, is just be involved. And if you do that, it's hard to go wrong otherwise. Hats for men. Everyone should wear a hat. We're working with Graham at Optimo to actually do a series with him that we're hoping to film maybe sometime this summer. All-time favorite books. I think that one of my all-time favorite books I just read was Atlas Shrugs. There we go. This guy, he's got more accounts than I've ever seen. I wonder who this guy is. Keeps on coming back. I wish there was a way to block him and all of his other accounts. Let's see. Missed Oxford and Cambridge rowing race. That would have been fun to see. I mean, I really need to move to London for a year. There's just so much. Is there an Oxford shoe that you think would be suitable for business casual dress? I mean, a brown Oxford, suede Oxford. And he's back again. Do you have anything else to say? Have you ever considered pipe smoking? Not really. I need someone to kind of give me the tour, if you will. They're new to cigars. I'm a big fan of the Oliva Reserve, Connecticut. Great suggestion. I'm not as familiar with the New World stuff as I feel like I should. Atlas Shrugs, that's right. It was a book. I just read that over COVID. It was my COVID read. Really interesting and kind of poignant book. Favorite steakhouse in Dallas would be definitely Bob's Steakhouse on Lemon. We're going to Chamberlain's tonight, which my wife booked. I have to say it was a really incredible move on her part, because you can smoke cigars at the steakhouse. So I think that for tonight, I'm going to smoke this one. This was a gift from Eddie Sahakian. It was one of the cigars we smoked whenever we filmed a video. It's I think 1998 Bolivar Corona Gigante. They called it something else. Kona Hawaii Coffee Farm Tour. Yeah, that's right. Casey Jones. Well, we've got Andrew Kennedy, who's another friend of mine from Hawaii, that very kindly sent me some Kona coffee during lockdown. We'd love to go to Hawaii. Thank you, Dorian. Thank you for your help moderating. The Rafael Gonzalez Petit Corona, I don't know if I've had it. Davidoff, Colorado Claro. I've got some of those great smokes. Best Cuban online store. Try EGM cigars. They do a good job. They've actually got some custom rolls that they do, New World stuff. That's pretty nice. Thank you for the Shoot to Suit series comment. Is there a Gigante for the Supremas Churchills? That's a good question. Tips for finding a good wife. I have no tips. 2024, if you're lucky. What does that mean? Let me know. Interview Roger Stone. We're getting political now. Probably not. Thank you, Spread. This is a Davidge bespoke jacket, cream. I didn't do the satin lapels. I think it's a little bit too much for a shawl collar. This really kind of tones it down and softens it a little bit. And there we go. What type of steak will I indulge in? Probably a New York strip, medium. I take my filet medium rare, but a New York strips get a little bit more fat in it, a little bit more tasty, and you need to kind of render it medium in order to get that going. Is there such thing as too many shoes? I think so. I think that everything should be enjoyed in moderation. This goes to the quantity versus quality. If you're someone that is accumulating too many shoes, my question would be, why not just invest in shoes of a higher quality? So if you've got a ton of ready-to-wear stuff, I'd say, what's the next level up, right? Go to made to order, go to a pair of Gazione Girlings, go to a pair of bespoke shoes, and there you go. Never met Edward Sexton, would love to one day. I'm familiar with Dominic, who is running Edward Sexton right now. Another good suggestion from DE. So I'm going to copy that, right, and add that to my list of good suggestions. I'd love to do some bookshops. And next visiting the UK is May. It would be fun to do an event. Maybe we could do another event at Davidoff of London. So you guys have to let me know what you think. The suits of James Bond, interesting idea. Okay, we'd have to do some research there. Polo, it would be interesting. Favorite series so far on your channel? It's an interesting question. This is amazing. Armagnac. What is this? It's 40% alcohol by volume, just the right amount. Cleans the palate but doesn't light it on fire. I think the favorite series that we have filmed on this channel. It's like asking which is your favorite child. I have to say, I think that the bespoke commission, the double bespoke commission with Kent Haste was great. John Kent, an absolute legend, literally disappeared off of the face of the earth just weeks after we finished publishing that series with him. And so there's just a degree of a real honor and meaning in having been able to really capture and preserve that character and his knowledge. John Kent, he's really the last of an era. So that was incredible. We did that suit where he basically cut and made for me the same suit that he made for the Duke of Edinburgh. And maybe that's why he went missing, because the palace, kind of locked him, threw him in the London Tower for doing that. Smoking with the Conde de 54, Edmund Dante. So that was a great series. The Goodwood series was a lot of fun to film. That was a really special series. But I think maybe the favorite series is probably the one that we're filming right now with Eddie Sahakian. We just had the, what was the first fitting? We filmed it in London. It's not been published yet. Hopefully it will come out soon, maybe before May if we're lucky. And I have to say, to sit there and see a bespoke suit being made for someone else, we are going to do another Patreon event for members. So we're going to do that soon. We should look into doing that next week. To be able to share that with Eddie, who, as all of you know, is so genuine, is an incredible pleasure. I mean, he was over the moon. I mean, completely flabbergasted at the gesture. And I have to say, in the first fitting, I think I was more excited than he was about that. And that was really special. Um, I mean, to see that come together for him, to be able to share it with him, and to be able to participate in that without having it made for you, I think for me is making it particularly special. And so that series, I think, is going to be incredible. And I have to say, I really look forward to the video that we film with him and Simon and me sitting down, enjoying a cigar, and properly inaugurating or christening that suit, if you will. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be an incredible video. Maybe that's something we live stream for our Patreon members as we film it. Mm. Thank you, Guild Taco. Any updates on your watch collection? I have to say, I mean, I've got some nice timepieces. They're all special. Thank you, Al. For the coronation, my gentleman's day will be a proper shave, shoe shine, and a cigar at the Sahakian Lounge at the Bulgari Hotel. Doesn't get much better than that. The last time I was in London, I enjoyed an incredible cigar at the Sahakian Lounge on Sunday. It was really amazing. But what was I talking about? I've distracted myself. Well, Joshua, I mean, you really kind of hit the nail on the head. I'd like to think that we're all on this together. We were talking about watches. Thank you. So I've got a Rolex Datejust. We have a video on the channel of me sharing my watch collection with everyone. We have a Rolex Datejust that I inherited from my grandfather. I still remember vividly the moment that he gave that to me. I mean, it was such just an incredible gesture. I asked him if I could wear it for a little bit. So he's like, sure, you can wear this watch. And so maybe I wore it for a week, right? Maybe I took it to college. Or no, I mean, maybe I just put it on my wrist. And I'll never forget. I mean, I've got this Rolex. It's the first time I ever had a Rolex on my wrist. And I'm sitting there just kind of shaking it like this. And I just said, wow, I mean, you can really feel, just the difference in weight of this watch. And he looked at me and he said, you know what? Keep it. It's a gift. And that was really profound. Daddy Boy was my grandfather's name. And he was an absolute, I mean, he was the patriarch of the family. I mean, an incredible man. I mean, talk about a life. I mean, this guy, incredible. Truly an incredible blessing to me. I mean, I just think of the gift of the Lord of putting him in my life, or should I say, allowing me to come in his life, was exceptional. And I've had some great influences. I think, maybe at 40 years old and 600,000 subscribers, let's take a moment and talk about the great mentors in my life. All right, so here we go. Great mentors in my life. We're kind of trying to stretch this out, if you will. So first, great mentor in my life. This was a gentleman by the name of Joe Aiello. He was my best friend's father. He gave me my first job in an office. I think I had to be 16 years old because I was able to drive. He had an insurance agency. And so it was like an office administration job. And it was the first experience in my life that allowed me to really kind of see business, if you will, in a firsthand way. I'm drinking some Armagnac right here. You can see that, right? And so, I was paid, I think, $15 an hour, which is a summer job in high school in what was probably 2000 or 2000, maybe 1999, was an incredible amount of money. I'm enjoying this so much, we might have to light another. And so I took that money and I started buying Banana Republic, which at that time was kind of the nicest clothing I could find. And that really is what I think in some ways kind of catalyzed, or at least allowed me to get into this notion of enjoying dressing up. And I remember in high school, I would dress up on Fridays, right? So everyone else would dress down and I'd go to school in like a button-up shirt and a pair of trousers and a jacket. And everyone thought that was really weird. And it probably was, but I enjoyed it. And And so that's kind of where things started. He was an incredible influence because, in college and in my family, there was never a question as to whether or not I went to college. Right? It was assumed, and so I knew I would, and I did very well in high school. And so I applied to the University of Texas because it was either Texas A&M where my brother went, which there was no way I was going to go to College Station, or UT Austin in Austin, Texas, which was the suggestion of my neighbors. I mean, my parents had no involvement. They did no help. They didn't fill out a single application. I don't even think they cared, to be honest. And I remember getting rejected from the business honors program. It was his recommendation that I apply for it. And he was indignant that they rejected me. How could they? And he said, you need to protest that decision. You need to dispute it. And so I never would have known about the honors program if it was not for him. He helped me put together a campaign where I think we had 60 or 75 people write letters to the director of the business honors program at the University of Texas, basically asking them to reconsider their decision. Now, of course, they stuck by their decision, which was fine. But luckily, there was a sophomore admissions process where you could reapply your freshman year into the business honors program. And the only thing they really considered, which I think is a big virtue of the program, was your freshman GPA and your extracurricular involvement in college. So I reapplied. Well, I guess let's just say I landed at the University of Texas with that goal, clearly within my sights at the end of that freshman year. And it totally changed the course of my life. I got a 4.0 my first year. I got involved in a lot of student organizations that I may have not taken the initiative to get involved in otherwise. It really kind of set the tone for my 4 years or 4.5 at the University of Texas. So Joe was an incredible influence, and I never would have done that without him. The next big mentor or influence in my life was Jonathan. He was a customer. He wrote a blog post. We kind of came about one another. There was an interesting kind of opening in his life. 3 girls, really had an incredible life in London. He's the one that basically proposed me to the Carlton Club in London and got me into that, and really helped me, I think, focus my business vision, if you will. And so, he and I spoke, daily. He is the one that really kind of helped construct the narrative and the aesthetic for the YouTube channel. That was something we were already doing, but it was something he helped us refine and helped us really kind of constitute kind of what we were doing on YouTube. And that, again, as you guys have all seen, now we're at 600,000 subscribers, was life altering. And then there's a new gentleman from Bangkok named Francis, who's really kind of helped us from a video production level, kind of take it to the next level. And he's, been an incredible influence as well. So, the Lord has been kind. He's been merciful. And he's been very generous with me and kind of putting these people in my life. One of the challenges of being an entrepreneur, I started this company whenever I was 23 or 24 years old, is the fact that I never had anyone to learn from. I just was kind of doing it myself the entire way. And so those 3 people really have had an incredible influence to kind of where we are today. So there we go there. The production value of the work that they're doing is really exceptional. And he's really, he beats us up in terms of our video filming, and has helped us really even increase the quality of that. Japanese whiskey, I don't really have any, but we've spoken a little bit about this. This is an Armagnac, 1982, so a year for good measure. There we are. So we're pushing 3 o'clock. Goodness, I'm having such a great time. I could light up another cigar. If you guys keep the questions coming, maybe I'll consider it. We'll find something short. I've got some that I'm eyeing. Well, tobacco oud from Tom for it. I've never tried, but I have to say I'm really partial to Floris. I mean, Floris is an 8th generation company, true British heritage company doing work at the highest level based on German Street. We carry their fragrances. You can buy them online here. One of the ways that you can support our channel. And there you go. Home is coming nicely. Thank you for asking. I'm not going to have a humidor at the house. I'll probably, hopefully, one day have an opportunity to acquire a LA Blue or maybe one of the Ernesto Aguilera from, what is it? Humidoras Havanas, a humidor. But my walk-in humidor is here at the office. Yeah, the Mahan leather from Floris is one of my favorite. I think my wife stole it from me and used it all. Yeah, okay, cigar, Monte Cristo Mundos. Davidoff Late Hour, great full body cigar. Kirby on buys things with the royal warrants. Wouldn't touch Tom Ford. I mean, I don't have anything against Tom Ford. I think that Tom Ford, really from a fashion brand perspective, does a great job because you can tell he's very much rooted in the aesthetic of classic menswear. And now he's a fashion company, and so he's got to do things kind of interesting and unusual. But you don't really see anything too crazy from Tom Ford, which I appreciate, much in the same way with Ralph Lauren and Purple Label. Okay, Kentucky Derby, Sahakins, how tall am I? 5'10". I think that this cigar, the Edmundo Dante, might be coming to an end. And against my better judgment, I'm enjoying everyone's company so much, I might just light up again. Yeah, I mean, Clive hit the nail on the head. I mean, the problem with fashion stuff is that it's exceptionally overpriced for what it is. Okay, what do you guys think? I've got some Hoyo de Monterrey shorts over there. I could light one, and that could maybe take us to the end. What do you think? Give me some thumbs up if you think we should go for one more cigar. I mean, it's 3:00 here. I'm enjoying myself. The Aristocrats are great. I'd have to walk a little bit farther to grab an Aristocrat. And the Hoyo is an exceptional cigar. Okay, well, there we go. We got a lot of thumbs up there. Yes, superb. All right, let's do it. Any Padron streams coming up? Patreon streams. We need to have a Patreon stream. Thank you for that. Thank you for all the Patreon members. They are really supporting our ability to travel and help get us to Italy. All right, let's light up. Shall we, gentlemen? Anyone going to join me in one last cigar? Aston Martin, I mean, great touring car, E-Type Jaguar. Let's table that car talk conversation for just one moment while I walk over here and grab that last cigar. How about that? Let's see, is there anything else I can grab? Okay, we're back, gentlemen. This is the final stretch. Bolivar is probably my favorite brand. So this is the Floris Waterloo fragrance that we bottled up during that bespoke fragrance creation process. An absolutely incredible fragrance, I must say. Anyone that's watched that knew that I was terribly sick whenever we filmed it and probably was unable to smell anything. Don't tell anyone. But I have to say now, this has really become one of my favorite fragrances, and we are going to bottle this for all of you here soon. Edward Bodenham, who is the 8th generation family member running Floris, on my last trip gave me a gift of this Isla by request, which I need to get the full story on this fragrance. They just mixed it up in their bespoke salon, and he gave it to me, sent it to the club. And this is a bespoke blend of, let's see if you can read this. Can you guys read that? Right, so it's got some silver woods. Let's see, it's got galbanemium, some patchouli, some vanilla, So those are probably the three strongest notes. And the number 9 silverwoods and a bunch of other stuff: bergamot, cedarwood, musk, orris, some more scent, sandalwood, some smoke, some woody amber accord. And I have to say, this was an absolutely incredible fragrance. I'm very tempted, even though we're working on bottling the Waterloo fragrance up, to get him to convince him to actually maybe do a small run of that for us to offer on the website. So stay tuned for that. And sour, I don't know about that. Cleverly, it's a long story, and I don't know if it'd be appropriate to go into it. But yeah, Cleverly, we kind of fell out with Cleverly, which was really sad and unfortunate, but it wasn't our doing as much as it was theirs. I've got some great shoes from them. The problem with Cleverly is, I've probably got just as many not great shoes from them. So we have a video on Savile Row suits. Dorian, since you're kind of helping with our moderation, if you go grab that link, that'd be great. Yeah, Flores is first class. They really are. So I'm in between cars right now, and you're kind of, you're saying you hope it's not a Tesla, but my last Tesla car was a Tesla Model 3, and I have to say it's a great vehicle. We'll go back to the conversation of cars. We're going to have a little bit more of this Armagnac. If anyone's drinking anything right now, let us know. I'll give you the story on the Sahakians, Joshua, here in a second. So I'll mental note that to discuss after we talk about cars. There we go. Why not? More. And in this case, more is more. It's great Armagnac. This is really exceptional. Okay. Sip. That is just divine. Okay, I'm going to show you another lighter. This is a vintage SD DuPont. This is a Linea D, I think, if I'm correct. And what I like about this lighter is if you see it next to this one, it's smaller in kind of every dimension. Even the Linea 2s with the perfect cling, great, absolutely beautiful lighters, still a little bit heavy, but acceptable for the pocket. But this is perfect. It was a gift from another person. Another membership. You can join the channel. It's one of the ways to support our content here if you're not shopping online at kirbyallison.com. So thank you. And what's interesting about this is if you can see it, it has kind of a crooked flame, right? So let's get that there, right? You see how it goes out? So this is actually technically a pipe lighter, right? So that is designed like that to kind of get into the pipe. We're going to light this properly as Edward Sahakian. This is an Edward Sahakian approved light. Yeah, it's not a gentleman's car at Tesla, I know. I hope I'm not ruining anyone. But you know what I love about the Tesla is every single morning I wake up, it's got a full charge. It's got no maintenance. And one of the problems, I had a beautiful BMW 335 diesel that I loved. But at some point, the maintenance just got to be absolutely ridiculous on the car. I think I was replacing fuel injectors at $1,500 a pop, and there's 6 of them. So that's $9,000 in fuel injectors on a car that probably was only worth 20 grand. So I got rid of the BMW. Actually, interesting story. I wrecked the BMW, I rear-ended someone while I was watching the trailer for the Huntsman video in New York. So there you go. You could say the Huntsman video did in the BMW 335 diesel. That was an incredible car. I loved it. But the maintenance burden was crazy. And the problem is that, here in America, who wants to go to a gas station? Now, if I could buy any vehicle, right, it wouldn't be a Rolls Royce. The Range Rovers are beautiful. The new Range Rovers, gosh, that's one of the most beautiful, absolutely beautiful SUVs that is in existence right now. The SE Vogue 2013, amazing. Again, if I was making more money and not spending it all on private school tuitions and now at home, I would do that. But if I could get any second vehicle, any guesses what it would be? give you guys to make some guesses. It's a 5-second delay. We're going to let you have this. Just sold Max a beautiful vintage DuPont Lagna 1. Wow, Robert didn't reach out to me first. I'm going to get this properly lit. Okay, Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Goldwing. Wow, that would be amazing. DB7, that'd be great. Cobra, that's funny. Bentley, Ferrari. I would love a Ferrari. What was it? The 550? No. What was the Ferrari? It was the what was the 2+2 touring coupe of the late kind of 2000s? What was that? Anyone know? Land Rover Defender, great car. Brooklyn's Bentley. The new Bentleys are amazing. It wasn't a 465. Kirby is a given name. Bentley with the driver. Yep, black cab. We're going to film a video with the black cab driver here soon. So let's see. Kia. Yeah, Hummer H2. Yeah. Panamera. Well, this is the point. This is the challenge with vintage cars is that, you can afford the car, but can you afford the maintenance? This is the challenge. But if I could get any vintage vehicle, the 599, maybe that was it. It would be a late 2000s Bentley Arnage, 4-door. I'll show you some pictures. Let's see if I've got any photographs. This is a 2009 Bentley Arnage T. I'm going to pull up a photograph. I'll show it to you. Okay. For some reason, I can't get this to work. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to get a photograph of this car. All right, here we go. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That would be my Bentley of choice, right? This is, 2000s, right? Inevitably, this is, kind of a car I grew up with and admired. The Mouselane's, of course, great. But the challenge is, of course, the maintenance on these things. You could probably buy one for less than $50,000, but can you afford the maintenance? So you'd still need another car, and that would probably be my Tesla. Okay. So the next question we asked was, how did I meet the Sahakins? We could do a series on moonshine, quality craftsmanship and tradition, handmade. Good question. I just had some Cubans, so I'm going to put that down. Let's see. We have that blip a little bit. Yeah, 2009 Bentley Arnage, 18 to 23,000. Now the question is what type of maintenance liability you're buying if you buy a car like that. So the Sahakins, right? You guys want to hear about the Sahakin story? We have people ask for photographs all the time, and I'm happy to do it. If you ever see me, by all means, come and ask, say hello, introduce yourself, ask for a photograph. I've had some people that have maybe seen me at Davidoff of London, and I'm talking to Edward or Eddie, and they said, I didn't come say anything because I didn't want to interrupt. By all means, interrupt me, introduce yourself. These cufflinks we sell them online, KirbyAllison.com, Golden Acorn cufflinks. Well, there's a question as to whether or not they'll renew your golden global entry. And so I guess I'll find out soon about that. So the Sahakins. Sahakins, of course, great friends. Of course, traveling to London. I'm a member of the Carlton Club. It's right there in St. James's. And so, of course, walking to German Street, walking to Piccadilly Arcade, walking to Savile Row, I walk by Davidoff of London. And so I would merely, of course, step in to Davidoff and purchase my cigars there. Now, Edward and Eddie are exceptionally hospitable, and they are probably two of the most hospitable gentlemen I've ever met. You all know this. I mean, they are in real life exactly as you see them on the videos. There is no pretense there. And so, we just kind of struck up a friendly conversation. I mean, they speak with everyone that comes in the store. Thank you, Tony. And they're very generous. They're happy to take photographs with you. One day, I guess we got into the topic of conversation of like what I did for a living, right? And so, of course, as you all know, I sell hangers and shoe polish. It's a very, very sexy. Eddie was talking about how his father, Edward, loves to shine his shoes. Edward's impeccably dressed. And that he would do it in the bathroom because his wife, Greta, an amazing woman, incredibly elegant and classy. I mean, these people didn't like the smell of the shoe polish. So he was forced to do it in his bathroom. It's funny considering that he can smoke in his house. And so I offered to send him some shoe polish and some shoe trees and some hangers. And so I did that as a gift. And that was kind of the genesis of the friendship, right? So whenever we were there, I'd sit down, we'd talk, they're very generous with their time. And one day, we were there filming, and I just kind of, threw it out there to Eddie. I said, Eddie, we've got this YouTube channel. At that time, we probably had less than 50,000 subscribers. And I said, it'd be fun to film a video on how to smoke a cigar. I've enjoyed sitting down here and learning how to smoke a cigar properly from you. Maybe we could film a video on that. You said, oh, sure, of course. Let's do it. And that's where it all started. And the video is still on the channel. I was just texting. Eddie, of course, or Edward, sent me a very nice message this morning. There you go. Wishing me a happy 40th birthday. Right. There you go. What a gentleman. But let's find Eddie. Eddie. So I was chatting with him, and I just thought it was funny that how to smoke a cigar at Davidoff of London. Look at this. What a memory. It's funny. We definitely look much younger back then than we do now. I'm going to find a screenshot. Show it to you. Mm-hmm. So this was the video that really started it all. It's got 2.9 million views right now, right? Again, who would have thought? 3,100 comments. Incredible. We filmed this 4 years ago. So this was published January 18th, 2019, which means that we had to have filmed it that prior year in 2018. So let's say 5 years ago. Really amazing. And I'm going to post this link for all of you to see and enjoy. So there you go. If you haven't watched that video, it is the video that really started it all. So there you go. Really quite special. May I ask what music you enjoy mostly? I'm primarily a classic music guy. I enjoy house music a lot. So the Wellington Company, so we are going to go film with Graham. He has his book launch his book launch is April 29th. So if you're in Chicago, you should look into that. I'm actually in his book. Let's see if I can find that photograph. Graham Thompson, images. See y'all. Not in there. Download these from iCloud, see what we get. So there we go. Metallica in high school, or middle school, I was into Metallica. Okay, so let's see. So this is the book. It's going to be an incredible book, I must say. So this is something that everyone should absolutely purchase if you have the opportunity. There's Graham doing his work. He makes really the best hats in the world. Let's see, where is it? Da, 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 da. Oh, no picture. Oh well, I'm in there somewhere. Well, all of our products were inspired by not being able to find what it is we sell in the marketplace. That's really it. Just tuned in, Chris Madden, thank you. And did you hear you saying you like house music? Yep. Is it bad that you're shocked? I don't know. I mean, I enjoy some good dance music. I don't know. Nice going out, get going. So I don't know where it's going to be on April 29th. It's probably going to be, well, actually, I know it's most likely going to be at the Firehouse. Casey Jones, yes. I think you're right after Eddie Vedder in the book. It might be. So what else, gentlemen? We've got one last cigar to end this on. I have to say, I mean, after that Edmundo Dante Conde 54, it's hard to really follow that. I may have done it. When do I plan to, any plans whenever I hit 1 million subscribers, we're going to Monaco. But the challenge is the YouTube algorithm. I mean, it's like, look at that cone. I mean, this is a perfectly rolled cigar. I don't smoke, but could watch you, Eddie, and his dad talk for hours. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Goodness. I mean, we, had some rapid growth last year by virtue of a lot of the shorts that we filmed. That was just kind of riding the algorithm wave, if you will. Right now it's like, I feel like our subscriber growth has ground to a halt. And so, it's just a difficult code to crack, if you will. But it would really be great to hit 1 million subscribers. I mean, that'll have to be a blowout party. Whenever we hit 1 million, it's going to be a blowout party. It'll include the Sahakians, all my best friends, and it'll be great. Well, I'm hoping to spend a year abroad in the United Kingdom before the kids graduate. If you know anyone at some good boarding schools, let me know. Actually just engaged a private school consultant in the United Kingdom to kind of help us start looking. So I think 2024, 2025, if we could pull it off, would be great to spend a year abroad in the United Kingdom, send the kids to a good boarding school, and just have some good fun. We've got Gabriella from Italy. We plan to go to Italy in June, hopefully. Yeah, Eaton is very affordable, only 50 grand. Charter House is good. So it's an interesting question. What were we looking at? This is the private school consultant, Chris. Thank you. 1 second. I produce YouTube channels and hate that shorts have taken over. YouTube doesn't prioritize subscribers as much nowadays and just goes video by video. Well, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Let's see. Cottesmore was a consideration for boarding schools. We get to get both Paloma and maybe Nathaniel into those. Yeah. To be able to give Nathaniel and Paloma a year of boarding school experience in the United Kingdom, I think would be amazing. Harrow is another one, but Harrow only starts, with the upper school, right? Or basically high school. So I think the timing wouldn't work there. We would want to do it, before he gets into high school, because that really needs to be done here in the United States. I'm married to a Latina. So, yeah. So Eddie's son, I mean, his children are probably similar in age. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't know the exact ages of his son. Um, but How to Smoke a Cigar, Dabbed Off of London is where it all started. So what else? We're turning the corner on 2 hours, This includes the 15 to 20 minutes of technical difficulties we had with the first stream. Makes me want to throw something through the wall. 928's a nice car. Is staying at your club in London part of the perks of membership, or is that an additional expense? Additional expense, but it's at a discount. I think I stay, maybe for £200 a night or something. It's really cheap. What's your go-to rules order? Their veal is amazing. Their venison's incredible. I mean, anything that's game. Born and raised in Texas, yes. Joe 5 HI33. I mean, I spend so much time working. If I'm not working, I'm spending time with the family. I mean, that's really it. At night, I like to come back to the office, light a cigar, do a little bit of work. There you go. Do I prefer the United Kingdom or the United States of America? Good question. I'd love to spend some time in London. American bar, great. I've seen embarrassingly little of London. I'd love to take up fly fishing. I'd love to go to Bath. I've never spent any time with Bath. Plans for the rest of the day. Well, some point I've got to get back home to the family. We've got dinner tonight with some friends at Chamberlain's, which is a steakhouse here in Dallas. It allows cigar smoking inside during dinner. So I've got a nice cigar lined up. I've got a vintage Bolivar from '98 that was a gift from Eddie Sahakian that I'll be smoking. There we go. I do have a corduroy suit that DaVinci made for me. Would love to go to Vienna. What else? What else do we have? Kind of rounding the corner. This is the point at which I feel like I'm out of things to talk about. I could answer questions, but I feel like we're kind of starting to just kind of drone on at the moment. So this is your last chance to ask a few questions. And there we go. Well, a lot of these people travel to the United States. Do I collect vintage cigar humidors? No, haven't had room. I don't really dance. What am I going to wear to dinner? It's a good question. I'll probably put a suit on. Definitely, I think, wear a suit. Have I ever been to the opera in Dallas? I must say I'm a big fan of the symphony, not a fan of opera. Scotch whiskey is drinking Armagnac. At what stage in your historical journey did I get my first pair of bespoke shoes? Good question. What's my favorite malt whiskey? Well, my single malt would be a Lagavulin 16 or an Ardbeg Ugadale. Michael, I'd say a Rolex. So there we go. 2 hours and 3 minutes. We've got 400 of you guys watching, down from 550. So I think it means that we're finally we're in the waning stages of this. So I think we're going to call it a night. Let me just say that 600,000 subscribers has been an incredible milestone. It's been exceedingly humbling. And everyone that watches one of our videos, that comments, which I appreciate, please share them. Get us as much algorithm love as possible. I really do appreciate everyone that's watching right now. If you see one of our videos, if you don't watch the entire thing, at least comment because it does help. Maybe click that share button, send it to some friends on Facebook. Do anything you can do to help spread the word about quality craftsmanship and tradition. But 600,000 subscribers, what a milestone. I have to say, I was having this conversation with my wife. I really am living my dream. It is here on this occasion of my 40th birthday, which today, April 1st, is my 40th birthday. To be able to do what I do, filming these videos with such exceptionally talented artisans from around the world and sharing that with such a large audience is such a pleasure. It's such an honor, and it's truly not work. I enjoy it immensely, and I hope that you see all that in the videos. We do our best. Of course, there's so much more for us to do better, and that is what I probably would raise a glass to, as we're kind of celebrating 40 years. So I'll make a toast to all of you gentlemen watching, to those passionate about quality, craftsmanship, and tradition, to people, to honoring them, to honoring their good work, to family, to Christ, and to all of the blessings of the world. May we honor those. Looking forward to the next year, the next few years, the next decade, the next several decades, as we explore the world of quality craftsmanship and tradition and try to bring back these incredible old world virtues back to where they deserve to be, which is in the mainstream. So cheers to all of you gentlemen. I'm raising this glass to you, thanking my wife, my children, my family, for everything that they've done to support me, to Jonathan, to Francis, to Joe, and to everyone that has worked here at Kirby Allison, to Eddie, Vanessa, to Reese, to Addison, to the entire team. We couldn't do this without all of you. So cheers. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me on this incredible occasion. What an honor. And thank you.